Take number 2 at my brand new segment called TYT Speed Round, where we do it in 5 minutes or less.
Hit it.
This is definitely not the clip to be doing this in 5 minutes or less. Regardless, look, we're honest with you, all right? Sports Illustrated released their top 100 players heading into the 2016-2017 NBA season, and a couple familiar names were left off of that list. The uproar is Derrick Rose. And there's one quote that sums up why. And there's a couple things really quick to mention before we get into that quote. One, it's based off the 2015-2016 season, not your career, not how you've played for the past 10 years, not your last year. So that's a fair contextual argument to make as to why Derrick Rose shouldn't be even in the top 200 players in the NBA right now. I know. It sounds insane. I'm not ripping on Derrick Rose. I'm rooting for him. I like the guy. I hope his knees heal and he stays on the goddamn court.
Why is that, Jason?
Because I'm a Knicks fan and I will bleed blue and orange regardless who wears the uniform. Now, Derrick Rose's snub explained by Mahoney and Golliver, who are the two guys who wrote these articles, this top 100. And it's very in-depth and very good, the article itself. Rose's name and reputation were able to give him considerable cover last season, yet ultimately this was a point guard who finished 438th in real plus-minus because he couldn't contribute positively to an offense nor fill passable minutes on defense. That plainly is not a top 100 player. And through the last 20 games, his numbers went up, but he still finished awful when it came to moving the offense, scheming the offense, pick-and-roll situations, attacking the rim, some signs of life. But it wasn't that good. All right, Francis. Is Derrick Rose a top 100?
No.
Just no?
Simply because it's the same argument you're going to make as to is Kobe Bryant an all-star? No, he's not, but they give him the opportunity to be an all-star. Why? Because his name carries weight. Derrick Rose's name will always carry weight. This is a guy that has captivated an audience since he first stepped onto the court as a college player, one of the most memorable seasons, some of the most memorable games that I've seen in college basketball came from Derrick Rose and his handles and his ability, his shooting, his passing. This guy was a phenomenal basketball player. The key word is was, and it's a hard word to hear often because people will love to root for the player and refuse to acknowledge that injuries are going to play a huge role in his future. And Derrick Rose, by the way, here's the other comment I'm going to say. He will not be in the top 100 again because I don't think that he's able to perform at that same magnitude consistently with how competitive the NBA is getting, with how many players are consistently getting better every year, Jason. The NBA is at such a, I don't know if it's just because I've came into my love for the sport, but every year I'm taken back by new players that are coming through.
Yeah, it's
college graduates who are able to just adjust like that. Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, coming in and just taking the league by storm, already considered to be future MVPs of the league after 1 or 2 seasons. And this guy who, when he came into the league, he was an MVP of the season. But you got to be able to maintain that or else other people are going to come in and take your place. So yeah, I know you love Derrick Rose. I love Derrick Rose. I would like to see him prove me wrong. But from the competition level, as I mentioned, and how these teams are consistently getting better, unless something drastically changes and his knees are able to hold up and he's able to put in the minutes on the court, put up the numbers, I don't see it happening.
I think that was very, very well said. I think
Thanks,
that was 100% true. I don't think he'll be a top 100 player going into next year.
Even you saying, after I just said it, you saying it back to me is hard to hear.
I know. It's just, look, I used facts, stats, watch tape, instead of just going, I like Derrick Rose. He's in the top 20
You're not a sports fan then, Jason.
Right. I'm not a real sports fan. All right, so real quickly, we'll go through. I picked out about 5 or 6 notable guys from the top 100. This is 100 through 30 because that's where they're up to. Interestingly enough, Dwayne Wade at number 32 for the Chicago Bulls. I thought their take on Dwayne Wade was pretty damn interesting, mostly because he's posted a 20-plus PER in 12 consecutive seasons, which is tied with LeBron James for the longest active streak in the NBA. He also has learned to deal and adjust with his time-sensitive body.
Yeah.
He is not the Dwayne Wade of old, where he was a top 10 player in the NBA consistently for 6-7 years. Now he's a Dwayne Wade that is going to adjust his game, and I really hope, even though nobody on that Bulls team can hit a jump shot past 18 feet, I really am going to root for Dwayne Wade on the Bulls. Steven Adams, please don't forget he's the most compelling center in the league going into next season, on the court and off the court. This is a guy who can unite locker rooms. He has that ability with Oklahoma City, and I also put Victor Oladipo just above him. This is not my rankings. Again, the number is where they were ranked.
Yeah.
Because Oladipo and Adams are going to be instrumental in the fact that alongside Russell Westbrook, the Thunder still have a core team who can make a run in the playoffs and can be good. The Oladipo notes I found equally as interesting because Oladipo was playing in a very congested system with the Magic. There was not much floor spacing there. He's an athletic defender. He has the ability to score, but not at a top-tier level. And if his three-point shot comes down even more, it's going to really help because we know Russ is not a good three-point shooter. And then the last one, because we really do unfortunately have to go, Francis. Aaron Gordon. This is the most compelling fact about Aaron Gordon. At number 99, it's way up there. He's still younger going into his third year, going to be playing a similar position to when Blake Griffin entered the league. So keep that in mind. He's not just a dunker. And if he can really embrace a small forward flex role, because with Ibaka coming into the Magic and Biyombo coming into the Magic, it's going to push him down, which is good because he's a thick three. Not really a big three, a thick three to play that position. Just keep that in mind. We know he can attack the rim. I mean, look how he finishes. And the butt dunk. He's more than a dunker. He's more than that. So I'm curious where he's going to go. I think that's just a guy to keep your eye on with the Magic this year going forward. So
who is number one then, Jason, surprisingly?
They're going to put, I don't know. I actually don't know who they're going to put. I would think and hope LeBron James, but they might not. They might not. They might put somebody
Well,
else.
even just on that final point, when you're talking about...
We're going to do a part 2 on Friday when they release it.
When you're thinking about Oladipo there, right, it's in the 70s, and this is a guy that is often at the tip of your lips when you're thinking... Tip of your lips. Oladipo is a guy that's often at the tip of your tongue when you're talking about talented NBA players. And to put it into context, Derrick Rose, to go back to him, the Chicago Bulls haven't been a team who are able to break in amidst the competitive pack in the Eastern Conference. So you think about these teams that go forward and play in the playoffs and eventually go through to the championship game. There's about 5 or 6 teams in each conference, right, that are talented enough to consider to go to the NBA Finals that year. And each of those 5 or 6 teams has about 4 or 5 class players that can go on. So you add those numbers up, and that takes up a large amount of that list already without considering the lower teams that have superstars, like, as I mentioned, Towns, or if you're going into Anthony Davis on the Pelicans. There's tons of teams.
Let alone how competitive the point guard position is.
Yes, exactly. You could probably rank point guards in there, and he's not even in the top
15, 20,
I was going to say. So
third 25.
Put it into context, do the math, and you will soon have your own argument debunked rather than having us debunking.
Your logical argument is fun, but I like Derrick Rose is a way better argument.
Yeah, very true.
All right, comment below. We'll be back on Friday, hopefully with a little bit longer of a clip to discuss who is, according to Sports Illustrated, the #1 player in the NBA. I'm very, very curious.
Kristaps Porzingis.